So diabetes, type 2 diabetes specifically, is a very contentious and very argued upon disease because it's so popular. 50% of Americans are pre-diabetic or worse, and a large portion of the people that aren't in that group are on their way. So you can naturally assume, and there's like 400 plus million diabetics in the world. So it's a very covered disease. And let me break you down how the landscape works, where everybody lies, and where the truth lies, which is with me. So the diabetes, what is type 2 diabetes? Type 2 diabetes is chronic high blood sugar through insulin resistance. So insulin resistance is caused by hyperinsulinemia, or too much insulin in your blood tissue, in your periphery, and that causes resistance. And the doctors are of the belief that you need to lower it. Me, I am in the belief that you have to lower it. The chiros are in the belief that you have to lower it. So everybody's on that page, right? We need to bring our blood sugar down. It's agreed upon. It's bad for your arteries. It's bad for your cardiovascular system. It's bad for everything to have a high blood sugar. Excessive oxidation of your body. Yeah, there's a laundry list of those things. That's not debated. What is controversial is how to get there. So the chiros are saying never take all these meds. The doctors are saying, the meds are how you control your blood sugar, because the averages, the doctors, this is what they agree upon. The doctors agree that lifestyle and eating habits are what you can do to change it, but they look at the averages, they look at the studies, and most people do not change their diet and lifestyle. So if assuming that people don't change their diet and lifestyle, the doctors are just doing what they are able to do from their office, right? They can prescribe metformin, they can prescribe Jardance, they can prescribe insulin at some points, and then keep prescribing further and further doses of insulin to bring people down into the proper range, because these people, frankly, are unwilling to change their lifestyle. So these people, the doctors aren't wrong. People demonize the doctors all the time, specifically from the chiro side, and the chiros, they like to look at further diagnoses. So they love to do blood panels, extensive pages of blood panels, and looking for toxins, looking for this, looking for that, and finding a way to point at something other than their diet and lifestyle, because it's hard to make money on diet and lifestyle, frankly. And so if they can point to something and sell them a supplement, sell them a nutraceutical, that would be great for them, right? And the doctors are just looking to fix A1Cs. And I kind of fit in the middle, or I'm kind of like a doctor. I'm a doctor that has a little bit of time to stick with you, rally you, and get you to change your lifestyle, because that's what you actually need to affect positive change with your A1C and with your longevity. Because like the doctors, ideally they would, if you were a doctor's brother and that you got type 2 diabetes, the doctor wouldn't say, get on metformin. He would be telling you exactly how to eat, exactly how to live, work out, because he knows that it's better for you to work out and change your lifestyle than it is for you to sit around and take the metformin. So I'm basically a doctor with with some free time. So this is how you do it. You want to lead a life, just like I was saying, type 2 diabetes is a insulin resistance problem caused by an excess of insulin problem. You want to lead a life that reduces your insulin load. So how I do it is I work out. Working out is crucial. Maintaining muscle mass, improving muscle mass is crucial if you don't already have enough. But yeah, you need that engine, because your muscle mass is where you store your primary storage of glucose. So it's very crucial that you keep that up to date and you keep working out, because that burns off fuel in your muscle mass to make room for your next meal, right? So you want to work out, build your muscle storage ability, and actually when you have a lot of muscle mass, you actually burn sugar faster as well. It raises your basal metabolic rate. So it actually does, it's kind of like an investment, you could say. And how you want to eat to reduce your insulin load is you want to kind of, intermittent fasting is really good, because it gives you time to burn off that sugar in your muscle tissue when you give yourself a good break between meals. And you also want to eat carbs, eat your food in the right order. So you want to eat carbs last. You want to eat protein, fats, and veggies first. So your carbs are landing on a full stomach. That release, or that uptake of glucose from your carbs, is really slow then, and your body doesn't have to dole out as much insulin to cover that. And that's how you eat that's how you tuck in carbs with a low insulin load. And so yeah, obviously, or like I'll just walk you through an ideal day, and you can twist it to how you would like to do it. But an ideal day would be like waking up in the morning and drinking water and black coffee up until noon. So you're just hungry. You're pumped up for lunchtime, right? You, an ideal lunch would be super high protein, super high fat. Like an example that I typically do is 5 eggs, half an avocado, and um, and like a protein bar or like energy bites, very, high fat themselves, protein, and just a little bit of carbs. And that's ideal because then you're just like fueling your system and you're getting yourself back on track, and then you're getting hungry for dinner, so you want to drink water all day until dinner. And then dinner, you can eat whatever the family's eating, whatever your partner's eating, whatever the people are eating, you can eat it. But you just want to make sure you're getting protein, fats, and veggies, at least one of those, ideally protein and fat, before your carbs. So that'll slow down that spike, as I was saying, and then your body can dole out the minimal amount of insulin to keep you as sensitive as possible. And then, yeah, working out, being active, all the obvious things. You want to be getting stronger and getting leaner. If you're getting at whatever behavior, it reinforces that. Obviously, to an extent, you can take, shortcuts there, but like the smart, obvious things that you can do to get stronger and get leaner, that's your North Star to proper insulin sensitivity and proper metabolic health. So the doctors aren't completely wrong. They're just limited on time and resources to affect change in your lifestyle. They can prescribe, if you're not changing your lifestyle, they kind of give you a warning. You get diagnosed with prediabetes, they tell you to change your diet and exercise, right? But then you come in a couple months later and you get the type 2 diabetes, they know you're not willing to change, and they'll just prescribe you. And then what the classic life cycle, tell me if you heard this before, is you get the warning, then you get the diabetes, and then you get the metformin, then you get your metformin dose doubled, then you start taking whatever, a blood pressure medication because your blood pressure is shooting up because you have high insulin, and then you're taking metformin, you're taking blood pressure, and also you're taking insulin. Everybody I've coached so far has been taking insulin on top of it, on top of their type 2 diabetes. So it's very common to snowball. This machine doesn't go away if you have a proper A1C. I'll get into that in a different video as well, but it's crazy. So you really need to stay on top of it because the problem of hyperinsulinemia causing resistance doesn't go away. If you put on a little band-aid, you're still bleeding. You got to address the open wound, and a band-aid is not going to fix it. It's just going to delay the results. So then you have to keep adding more band-aids, more band-aids. And I was actually talking to a type 1 or type 2 diabetic that was taking 100 units of background insulin a day. I have type 1, I take 5. The insulin resistance spectrum is huge, and you can't let it snowball to that point. You have to intervene with lifestyle and diet, or diet and exercise. A lifestyle, you have to change your lifestyle if you want actual change. You can put all the band-aids on you want, and you can take all the supplements and the nutraceuticals you want, but there's nothing that's actual foundational, robust change without your lifestyle changing. Because if you want to change in your life, you have to change your lifestyle. It's not just going to change on its own. Whatever sort of script you write or whatever kind of supplement you take, it's not going to change without me telling you what to do. And if you need my help, I can help you coach, but you can just take this information for what it is and change your life yourself.